All right, here we go. So this list is 16 inconvenient truths about SHTF. Craig, what's SHTF?
Well, it's when something bad hits the fan.
The proverbial poo-poo hits the oscillator. All right, so 16 things that maybe get glossed over, and that if you are a serious, self-reliant prepper, you need to actually come to grips with before it's smacking you in the face and it's happening. All right, so number one, those with chronic medical problems will be the first to die.
Sadly,
when you sit and think about it, it's
that's
like,
an
yeah,
unfortunate
that's true,
reality.
right?
I mean, that's just
Yep.
something that you need to probably just kind of reconcile yourself with. I mean, you don't dwell on it, but that's kind of a reality.
Yep. But is it something nobody wants to think about it, so you're going to avoid thinking about it? These are meant to just smack you in the face and say, it's probably right. In an SHTF situation, medicines will run out quickly.
That leads to that kind of feeds the first one. Medicines.
I could just go down to CVS, and they're always going to be there.
Yeah. Well, we have supply chain issues now. Sometimes you go. Well, actually, just a couple weeks ago, I was just looking for some chest congestion stuff.
I heard about this.
And they were
Empty
gone.
shelves.
I mean, yeah, they were because.
Just like the normal,
just the normal
Mucinex and stuff like that.
Yep, it was all gone because there was just this cold chest thing that that I think they're calling it like the 3-month cough or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just the supply chain can't keep up. Now, imagine that when the trucks bring in the new stuff, they're not there.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Number one, if the chaos is happening in, let's say, urban areas, truckers aren't going to risk their life to bring supplies in there.
Nope.
And that is if they even make it to the outskirts. If they have the intention of going in town, they're going to get hijacked, and it's gonna be a black market thing where the toughest thug owns the pharmaceuticals, and then that'll be the last time shipments come in that area.
Yep.
Here's another good one. Number 3. Many of the elderly will die. Kind of goes with pre-existing condition, that sort of thing, but it's not fun to think about grandma dying.
No, and these are things. This is actually a good list because it's going to. You need to think of this stuff because it needs to be part of your planning.
Yeah.
And it's part of the reality of if things get bad, they're going to get bad.
Taking care of our elderly parents and grandparents now is tough as it is in a smooth, semi-smooth society, economically stable situation. Just think about when everything that they need is depending on your ability to take care of them and yourself and whoever else. It's just it's gonna be hard.
Yep.
All right, number 4. This is kind of a downer. This whole segment's kind of a downer.
Yeah, so far.
Here's a good one. This will bring you all up. Human waste is toxic. Our modern
no, that can't be the case.
That's what it says. I read it on the internet.
Okay.
Modern sewage systems. Think about that. If the shit hits the fan, sewer guys aren't going to work.
Yep.
You're not churning that out. You start backing up.
And it actually happens pretty quick. I was several years ago. I worked at it was just an office building, but all of the plumbing was it wasn't gravity fed. It was power flush, and the power went out. And okay, this was an office building. There was like 500 people worked in it.
How long did that take?
The power was out all day. And for whatever reason at the time, this company, you didn't go home. They found stuff for you to do, in the dark. It was kind of weird. But within an hour, the bathrooms were, I'll just put unpleasant. I'll just leave it at that.
I can't even imagine. That's another reason that, in my opinion, rural living is, we're going to have backups in the rural also, and the sewer, an actual septic system is going to take longer with one household of a family of 4 is going to take a while to fail.
Yep.
It's going to give you that time, but you're telling me within an 8-hour day.
Oh yeah, it wasn't even a full day. It was
downtown urban setting.
Yep, it was just a couple hours, and
it
was bad.
So think about that as something to think about. Human waste is toxic. We have confirmed that. Here's number 5, the second die-off, meaning the plague. So I'm seeing that as a spin-off of human waste is toxic. You're going to get all kinds of sicknesses from that unclean, unsanitary.
There's that, and some of these actually kind of build off on the other ones because sanitation's going to go, so disease is going to run rampant. You're not going to have the medicines to take care of any of that stuff, even common antibiotics, things like that. I mean, way back in the Stone Age, okay, not really that long ago, people routinely died from just infections. You get a bad cut, and you get an infection, you die.
That's right.
And these days, it's nothing. You just go, get an antibiotic or,
You either die from the infection or you die from the 15 leeches they have sucking on you.
Sometimes,
all your
sometimes the treatment was,
was the killer.
Goodness. What's next?
All right, next one is many babies will die during birth.
Oh.
I haven't thought of that one.
This is a depressing list.
It is a depressing list. I'm going to go by that one. I don't want to think about that one.
Man.
Wood for fires won't last long. That's interesting.
Well, think about it. I mean, unless you live in rural, I mean, even in central Ohio, people that live in the country, there's not really a lot of trees around. You have these little sections where there's wooded areas, but when that becomes the primary fuel source and people are using that to heat and cook, it's not going to last very long.
It's when you start peeling casing and base off your walls and start. See all these houses in Bexley and Upper Arlington and all those places that have no trim. Then
the bigger the house, the longer your heat.
Oh, not laughing at you, laughing with you. Toilet paper will run out. I think that's hyperbole.
Now, okay, I'm just going to go out and limb here. I think every prepper list is going to have something about toilet paper on it.
Doesn't everybody own one of those little French things that sprays water up your crack?
I don't.
I don't either. All right, that's interesting. Many people are too weak to survive. That's kind of redundant.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put a twist on this.
Okay.
They don't make men anymore. Have you gone downtown like Columbus and looked around at the males?
What, you don't like the manly bun and carrying their Starbucks coffee?
Yeah, their shortness of testosterone. I see those people having, what do they call it? They need their safe space, so they have those mental breakdowns.
Their cry room.
If they have just the very tip of SHTF, I see these soy boys just crying like first grade girls in the corner, and so yeah, that's check.
Yep.
All right, next one. Being out of shape makes it harder to survive. This one hits me right in the gonads. I can't tell you how many times, Craig, in the last 2 months that I've said, I got to get off my butt, do something with fitness, because I get tired fast. Maybe it's age, but
I'm right there with you. The reality is, as we get older, it's harder to stay in shape, and I remember
less enticing.
Yeah, I remember in the good old days, I was just in good shape just because I existed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the normal stuff you do in day to day just kept you kind of fit. But now I'm right with you, and I worry about that quite a bit.
Maybe we should do something about it.
I think we should.
Yep.
We'll
let you know how that goes.
Yeah, we won't film that, but
we'll probably get the most interaction if we film us jogging or.
Oh yeah.
All right, gasoline doesn't store well. That's an inconvenient truth of SHTF.
And how many people do you know that they store just copious amounts of gasoline as part of their prep strategy?
What's copious?
Several hundred gallons.
Oh, no. I do rotate 30 gallons.
Yeah, well, I
on
rotate.
a monthly schedule. Like month one, my 5 gallon of month one will go in my lawnmower or my truck, and then I'll go fill that one with fresh gas, and then I'll go to February can 2. And if I don't use it through that month, it goes in my tank in the truck. Just so I always have 30 gallons of extra.
I'm similar, but mine's 20.
Yeah.
I've got 4 jerry cans, the
Yeah.
5-gallon jerry cans. Same thing, just rotate them through. I'll empty one out into smaller gas containers. Those jerry cans are great for storing 5 gallons. They're heavy.
Yeah.
You don't want to try to fill your mower up with one.
No.
But same type of thing, but you go much longer than that, your gas starts to go bad.
So, yeah, even if you put stable in it, it's still has a life. And if the proverbial S hits the fan, gas stations will be ransacked within the first couple of days and be rendered useless.
Yep.
So, next one, not enough water filters. I don't want to beat that one to death. I don't know if that's a inconvenient truth, but if you have
I would
something to
I would say in general that's going to be true because they're small, they're portable. People, should have them, but a whole lot of people that should have them don't.
Right.
So yeah, water's going to be a problem.
Gardens that aren't big enough. So I may fall into this. I'm starting to crawl out of this. Let's put it that way. So we just started gardening. You know this. We just started gardening a couple years ago and trying to build every year on what we produce. And it feels good to have a bounty and have all kinds of. I canned 20 cans of green beans and made spaghetti sauce. Blah 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 blah. And you have a nice bounty in your pantry. However, if you just ate that, I would have been through my bounty within 3 weeks. I would have had no food. If that's all I ate, you know what I mean?
Yep.
The amount of food that we produce is so even at the scale that me and you do gardening is 1 or 2% of what we consume in a year.
Oh, easily, and that's most people that do gardens, and I'm going to put us in that same category. We're the same way. We're trying to keep expanding, what we've got planted. But to your point, nowhere near what you would actually need. You actually need several acres.
That's right.
You're farming at that point.
Yep.
You're not gardening. And most people, they don't understand that.
And man cannot live alone on garden veggies. You got to have some
This
protein
man
in
can't, but
you got to have something else with it too.
Yep.
So that's a good one. I like that. I think that'll come to a lot of people's realization very quickly.
Yep.
Game will run out, meaning wild game.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Same time, we'll be burning the woods down,
Right.
trying to stay warm. And there's a lot of deer. You do driving around and you'll see them all over the place, but when they suddenly become not just the occasional once a year, let's try to get one, but you have to go out, that's your primary now protein source, it's going to be amazing how fast that dries up.
Right. You know what I've thought about often too is if in this scenario, how hard it's going to be to protect flocks of cows,
Yeah.
sheep that are grazing out in these
Are they flocks of cows? Is that what we're calling them now?
murders, isn't it? Isn't it called a murder?
Cows are herds. Crows are murders.
They're these idiots. If you get hungry enough,
I know.
I can't tell you what I would do if my family was starving.
You would do the same thing anyone else
Yes.
would. You would do what you need to do
Yes.
to feed you and your family.
So
Yep.
that's something to think about right there. Excuse me. Some people will turn to cannibalism.
That would be another example of, as you say, fake news.
Fake news.
I don't know about that one. I hear about stuff like that, but
Mostly in Hollywood.
yeah, I don't know. I would never be able to. I would never be able to do that.
You don't think you could get hungry enough?
I don't.
The deer shot. All the cows and sheep in the area have been shot, killed. Squirrels are done.
I don't.
You got Fat Bob over here that's been eating well during the shit hits the fan.
You didn't mention Bob. I don't know. I would struggle with that, but I don't doubt that wouldn't occur.
our favorite show, Alone. How many of those guys, after they've been in there for 80, 90 days, that are starting to go cuckoo?
Yeah.
Wouldn't care if you didn't tell them, that they had a slice of Bob's rear end on the grill right there.
Well, that's
Would
true.
They eat that? And
I guess it only the food gatherer would need to know. The other people.
it's a need-to-know basis.
This is a is a rough list.
Yeah, it is. Got to get rid of the trash.
Yeah, well, yeah, that goes in the whole sanitation thing, and the trash. People don't.
It's a carrier of all them diseases.
It's a carrier of all those diseases. I mean, think about it. You have when people. I'm just going to not to be gross, but you have a bad mess. You have a toddler with a blowout or something. Where does that go? It goes in the trash. And now, yeah, trash is nasty stuff, really.
It's not contained. All right, that is it. What do you think of the list? I don't think this is a all-inclusive list, but these lists are fun to talk about.
They are, and this one it's eye-opening because this brings up it's the whole other side that people never think about, the uncomfortable side.
Yep.
But it's important because some of this stuff you need to have a plan, and you have to plan for the stuff that you don't want to think about.
Right.
But there are certain things in life that you just need to be aware that you need to plan for it.
Good stuff.
Yeah. I liked the last list better.
You did you? All right. Okay.
I hope you've enjoyed this clip from the Craig's Gun Channel Random Shots program. The program airs Thursdays at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. On Random Shots, we discuss content ranging anything from preparedness, survival, politics, firearms, basically anything that's 2A related, with sometimes some rabbit trails and things that aren't related at all. If you enjoy this type of programming, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're notified when we release new content. And if you like it, hit the like button and share us if you would as well. It helps the algorithm and helps the channel grow and helps get our message out. So until next time, stay safe.